Hey guys, hope everybody's well. Just wanted to give thanks to everyone for the positive feedback I received on the first video. Um, it really has done my heart some good to know that um, my information and my experiences have been received well by the public. Um, just going through things, it just always feels good that you can share your knowledge from said experiences. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and start talking to you all about fertility. And please note to my sisters out there that um, struggle with their fertility and conception, that I am speaking and holding space for you, and understand that this topic is a delicate one, and one that many people are struggling with these days. So, um, several people's responses to my question, what scares you most about motherhood, was fertility, being able to actually conceive. And I have a theory on why so many people, including my sisters, my black sisters, are faced with this trouble as of late. And my theory it speaks to um, the fact that us women have um, adapted this process of um, leaning on birth control and Planned Parenthood. And I use Planned Parenthood in the company sense and the business sense, as well as leaning on the concept of Planned Parenthood. As we know, historically, women typically married and conceived at a very early age. Now, we understand that this was done because reproduction was necessary and because our lifestyles and our culture was extremely different than it is in 2019. I do understand that also women gained rights historically, and those rights allowed us to then go outside of the house and become more relevant and valued in the general public sector. And those things were definitely needed and beneficiary to the female gender. However, I do believe that we have begun to get way too comfortable with the idea that you have to wait to a certain age, a certain career, place, a certain financial space in order to be a mother. And in that thought process that we have accepted, we have chosen to rely on those chemical birth control pills, shots, IUDs, and those and other types of chemical control. I say this once again, that this is my opinion. It's not based on any scientific proof. It is just based on my personal logic. As I spoke in my last video about natural childbirth, and how I use the term loosely, unnatural childbirth causes danger and harm to the body and to the child. I do believe that um, these medical birth control options um, cause damage to our bodies. Um, I do believe that they are responsible for the increase in fibroids and cysts and endometriosis in the bodies. I also believe that our diet that we have is responsible for limiting our ability to conceive naturally. Nobody's a stranger to what has gone on with the Food and Drug Administration over the last 50 years and how drastically our diet has become toxic to our bodies. We also are not unfamiliar with the increase in pushing birth control pills to women at an early age, um, and pushing the fact that you should be on something if you don't want to conceive. Well, common sense says that if you don't want to conceive, then yes, you should protect yourself, because we understand that sex is natural and we are going to do it. However, keeping your body on these dependent drugs for such a long period of time um, is my concern. Um, Oftentimes, sisters begin taking these drugs at age 16 and don't come off of them until well into their 30s. So you're looking at over 20 years of um, a chemical being consumed in your body, and what that chemical can ultimately do to your body. Uh, so, with my theory, I urge us to not be so dependent upon um, those drugs, for us to allow the body to naturally go through its menstruation cycle as it should, and allow your body to cleanse itself on its own um, after said cycle. Uh, like I said, and then also researching all of the side effects for the differing options. Um, I know from my own experience that low estrogen um, birth control pills are, I believe, to be the least invasive of birth control pills. Um, I do also know that a lot of sisters' bodies don't react well to um, the drugs, and so their bodies begin to create their own defense mechanism in order to protect itself from these strange bodies that are coming in to regulate its natural cycle. And as I stated earlier, your diet, making sure that you limit your red meat intake if you are going to be a meat eater, increasing your green vegetable intake, increasing your natural uh, antibiotics or antibodies, um, making sure that your body stays hydrated, and also making sure that you stay exercising and keeping your body active. Your womb is an organ. It requires you to have um, hydration. It requires you to feed it the same way that you feed your mind, and your heart and your lungs and your liver and your spleen and all those other different organs that we have. Um, Basically, protect yourself from anything that is unnatural the best you can. I also want to encourage sisters to know that if you do struggle with fertility or infertility, that the blessing is that we do live in 2019, and the medical world has created so many different options um, for you. And although those options sometimes are expensive and invasive and concerning, they are options that are open to you, so that you can bring forth life. And also, don't forget that we have a lot of babies out here who don't have homes. And although you may not be able to conceive, um, bringing a beautiful baby into your home that needs love and nurturing and attention and guidance um, is still a part of motherhood. And so I want to encourage you today to begin to uh, check out some of these other options, and to check your diet and your birth control options. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Share if you like to, and comment with any other things that I may have missed. Have a good one. Peace and blessings.